Hey everyone, welcome back to Ebony with Genghis. So I uploaded this video. I don't know why, no sound. I usually double, triple check, but didn't go up. Anyways, analyzing CoinStrike. Is it working? Best way to analyze is look at the pay events. And the one we have this time is the historical sub. So this is Saturday. And I have historical photos of previous events on Saturdays. So we'll compare, and they're about the same time in the day. I take them all the time before I go to bed, and then I try and see what they ended up at later on in the next 5 hours. So this is about 5 hours left in the day. You could see 850,000 points for first place, 280,000 for 10th place, and then there'll be a drop off, and we could go down now to 50th place. And you'll see that there is a drop off, and then it's a pretty big drop off actually. And you could go all the way down to the bottom to 1000th place basically. But these are points that came from BOC. 31,000 points is basically what you got just for playing BOC, and then it goes up. So, all of these people did not coin most likely. Very likely that this is all Battlefield, what are they called? Valor medals. So all of this would be Battlefield medals based on how many points you got. But you could realistically probably say about 300 people probably coined in this event. Because you'll start to see you'll just start to see some larger differences where people, it's like 50,000 exactly, which is very likely someone bought 2 packs. So right around this area, 350, 380, right somewhere in here is going to be the breaking point where people did spend some money. Look at that. Guns N' Roses and Trump, 375th place. Both were very big in the 80s. And so I'll compare it to other historic events. And one of them is perfect. One of them is about a year and a half old, and it's actually a Kathmandu. And then another one is 9 months old, and it's a very similar red sub. It's not one that people really highly desire like this one, but it's good enough. And you can go here and you see about 126,000 is 50th place. So let's get to these photos and compare. So this one's 9 months ago. And it was a similar red city, not a Kathmandu. It might have been, it wasn't in India, but it was something like that. And you could see less in first place, but more depth. So definitely it was 280,000 on Saturday. And this is 10th place is 464. So definitely there's a drop off. And then we bring it down to 50th place, and it's almost double. So CoinStrike weekend had, 120,000 in 50th place. See if we still have it here on the video. So yeah, 126,000, and here it is 245,000. So you could basically say that it's not a 50% drop, it's not a 30% drop, but it's probably, 10% or so, something enough that Ebony would notice. They'd be like, oh, it's not a good weekend. Okay, let's see what happens next time. I would guess that this would probably be about 10% because you could cut all these in half, but the top end's there and the depth is still there. And there's people who coin outside of these events. There might even be people who wanted to coin and didn't want anything known about them. I know you can make it anonymous, but it's still in people's mentality. I don't want it shown in the event. And then here, plus there was people we know they were spending on the fishing event, right? And that would have been before this. So this is during Pink Gems. And the reason I showed it is not because I hate pink gemmers and I love saying stuff about them, but it's because this was actually a Kathmandu sub. And you can see how high it is. These are actually clips from my old videos. I went through a lot of them and found this. So just before Pink Gems got busted, I made a video and was like, what's up with these historic sub prices? And if you look, first place is $3.3 million points. And I believe the title of the video was people are spending $12,000 on subs. And you can look, but then if you go to 50th place, it actually drops off a lot and it looks like CoinStrike. So back then, top enders, basically cheaters, were coining and no one else was. So it's kind of like how it was kind kind of like how it is today, right? With CoinStrike. There's just a very small group of people who are spending money and getting ahead. Now, this one is my rank on day one. So this was Friday. I took a picture and you could see I'm in 757th place. And I have points there because of the previous SVS points that come in. So that's why I have points. I did not have points Saturday because I didn't play BOC. Just a busy weekend, and can't ask the wife to watch the kids both weekend days, so I chose Shalons over BOC. So this was Friday, and Friday generally does have a little bit more spending. So there was 189,000 points, but also you could kind of assume that those people probably had SVS points added in as well. And then this is from another older video, and you could see the points in there. They're 268 at 28th place, 36th place is 244, just showing some other stuff there. This is C6 that just happened on Friday night, and they didn't get the memo. So this is one of the things that's always been a problem with CoinStrikes in the past, is people have said it's not going to work if C6 isn't on board, because C6 are the biggest spenders in the game. So even if you're getting all of the continent 1 to 4 involved, C6 is always going to be the biggest revenue generator anyways, and then also the small players. And I know lots of small players are upset about the CoinStrike dev call, which I'm going to cover in another video, because they feel like there was nothing for them. It's like, well, I don't have alts, I don't care about this. Like, all I see is a couple big alliances got their alts back, and there was nothing about Wonder 3, there was nothing about Civ gear dropping from bosses, all things that they care about. So here, this was last event. So this is what happened in last event and the money that was spent. And you can see here, this is C1 actually. And C1 spent a fair deal. This looks like a regular event. 725,000, 557, 12th place is 300. Looks like a pretty regular event happened last weekend. So I think because they dropped those military tactics, right, on the rally spot. So I think because of that, Evany's just going to see this one event as a blip in the radar, and it really didn't hit them too hard. It hit them a little bit, maybe, let's say 20%. But I don't think it was 20. I think it was a bit less. But anyways, they're going to see this as like, well, the last event was really good, and they were still talking about CoinStrike, and the people were that desperate to spend right up until it because of a new buff we dropped. Let's ride this out and see. And like, I don't see them panicking because of one event. Maybe next event they're going to say, you know what? Let's drop a good red sub, because this one was pretty crappy. Let's drop a good red sub and see how many people because it looks like the same people are spending at the top, right? Might be different people, but same amount of money. But they want to fill in those bottom ranks. So if Evany was to drop a real good red sub, that might test people, because there might be people who are looking and being like, so that sub used to cost $4,000 and others are striking. I could get that sub for about $1,200. So we'll see what happens if they do that. Prisoner's dilemma, right? Both people agree to do the same thing. Don't talk to the police. You both come out ahead. One crosses and talks, he comes out ahead. So, that's kind of what we're in with now. People have to trust each other, hold together, and see what happens. But it will be interesting to see the developments that come in the spending patterns as it goes on. Let me know your comments on it, your thoughts. What do you think about the spending? How much do you think it was down? Do you think that the CoinStrikers can hold the line and keep it up? Like, subscribe, leave a comment.